you start by talking a little bit about just the way Pollard has performed for you this year, and while you could give him more touches or opportunities if you needed to in a game, are you pretty comfortable with the level of what he is and kind of optimizing what he does with the number of touches he's getting now at the moment?
I just say, yeah, Tony's done a really nice job for us. He's done a great job taking advantage of opportunities. He's a very versatile player. He's got the ability to play inside and play outside in space, and so he's done a really nice job for us. Obviously, we love what Tony's brought.
Kellen, when y'all have a night like you did Thursday where you go 2 of 13 on third down, do you view it more on a case-by-case basis or something about your third down game planning that you want to change systemically?
I'd certainly say you study it, you dig into it, because obviously, it's not what you want. You don't want to be 2 for, I believe it's 2 for 13 on third downs. And so, I think it's something you dig on. There's going to be certain things that maybe you want to make adjustments on third down. I think it's also important to recognize the impact first and second down has on third down. Too many long third down situations in that game. And so we got to be better on first and second down to get to, the good teams that are really good on third down. They're sitting on 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4. And not the 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7s that are sometimes more challenging, or 3rd and 10 pluses.
On that subject, for the first several weeks, you guys were the number 1 in rushing offense in terms of yards per carry on first down. The first down running offense has, over the past several games, fallen off considerably. What do you make of the difference there, and how do you rectify that?
Yeah, I think obviously we want to run the ball better than we are currently. I think it's all part of the process. There's going to be some scheme things that we want to continue to evolve in and look into. I think it's important that we kind of have some continuity on the offensive line and obviously throughout our offense, just to get ourselves going. And the more these guys are together, the more we practice, get back into kind of a traditional weeks for the next few weeks. I think all that stuff is going to kind of piece together and give us a great opportunity to get this thing going, because I think we're close. We just got to launch into this December football.
Have there been conversations with the coaching staff leading up to this game on a long week of really hammering down and kind of asking the question once again, what is our best starting 5, and then sticking to it these final 5 games? Is it being re-examined for you guys?
I think we have a lot. Obviously, we have a lot of discussions. Obviously, anytime you can have continuity, I think that's obviously a huge advantage, because in many ways, an offense, and particularly the offensive line, I mean, they got to be in sync. It's a little bit of a symphony at times where when they're all aligned, when they're all stepping at the same time, I think that gives us something pretty special up there. And so the more continuity we can continue to build on, I think is a great opportunity. And we got a number of guys up there that we feel really good about, and so whether other guys get into some other roles, I think we can utilize them however we need to.
Kellen, how would you evaluate the confidence of your group right now?
Confidence. I think confidence comes with obviously with performance, and I think we feel good about where we are. It's an NFL season. There's going to be highs. There's going to be lows. You go through these dips. It's a long season, and so I think our guys understand that. You're not going to go smooth sailing for however many weeks we've gone, 13 straight. There's going to be a few ups and downs, and so I feel great with where we're at. Kind of getting those guys back into the groove. I think the importance of just having some continuity, practice together, spend time together. I think I think we got a great opportunity to get this thing going in a special way in December.
I think this is also related to the first down runs, Kellen. But in the last 3 games, you have more 3-and-outs than you did in the first 9. Is there anything else not related to the runs or the offensive line continuity that you think maybe plays into the 3-and-outs and needs some help?
I certainly think it comes down to just being really efficient on first and second down. I think that's the biggest thing when you stay ahead of the chains, when you stay in favorable situations, good things happen. And so you got to win first down. You got to, it doesn't mean you got to, get 10 plus yards on first down. That means, get 4 yards in a run, good solid run, get to second down, get a good solid another completion, maybe get a first down there, get into third downs. And when you get into those drives, the good drives, those 10, 11, 12 play drives, those are what teams got to stack in the NFL. And so, I think we're close. We're going to be there, and I'm excited for where we're going.
Kellen, what was communication like between you and Dan during the game Thursday night? And can you take us through an example of what you would have communicated with Mike that you communicated with Dan on Thursday?
I think it was very similar, obviously. Dan's been a head coach in the NFL for a long time. He does obviously a tremendous job of it. Really at the end of the day, it comes down to situational football. Third downs going into fourth downs. Some of the situations, the 2 minute at the end of the half, obviously those are situations we just have to talk through and are in constant communication. I think we did an awesome job prior to the game with Mike, just talking through the parameters of kind of how we wanted to play that game and all the situations that would come up, how we're going to handle it. So I think so much of it, Mike, Dan, Bones, myself, and I think we all talked through those situations that, it was more of just operating as we knew we were going to, and we handled it really, really well, I think.
Outside of someone getting hurt, are you almost to the point where when it comes to your offensive line, because you're in the last part of your season, that you don't want to tinker with it too much? Or do you feel like regardless of where you are in your season, you can make a change if need be?
I don't know the answer to that. I think obviously, again, continuity is preferred. The more guys play together, I think that's the great advantage. Obviously, it's an NFL season. There's adjustments that need to be made sometimes, whether it be injury. Obviously, Terrence dealt with being out with COVID a few weeks ago or this past week, and so there seems to be always little things along the way. But I think our guys are finding their groove, and I think we're going to head into this thing in the right way.
Does this offense miss the Mac sub-package?
No, I think it's fair. Obviously, Mac did a tremendous job when he was in at fullback, and it's something that we can continue to find different ways to approach it in a similar way. Maybe we've utilized tight ends and fullbacks, and we can use some other personnel packages as we go. But obviously McGovern did a tremendous job for us with it, and obviously he ended up transitioning into the left guard role, and so we'll continue to evaluate that.
Kellen, I asked Mike this the other day. I'm just curious, you guys haven't seemed to attack the edges in the run game as much lately. Obviously with Tony's touchdown run, you did. And then after that, you kind of did in some respects. Why haven't you been so as aggressive calling outside or outside tackle runs?
I think it's a great opportunity. I think at times, it's a little bit more in the secondary auxiliary category. I think if you do it too many times, obviously defense is really fast in the NFL, and so you do run into some challenges there. But I think it's been a tremendous tool for us and something that we got to continue to find ways to get to the edges, because I think we got perimeter guys, skill guys that can utilize space really, really well. And so I think obviously Thursday night was a great example of continuing to find ways to utilize it.
Kellen, you seem to be Kellen, you seem to be running fewer RPOs than you have in the past as an offense, and that was a staple of the run game. Does that factor in some on attacking the edges, and how do you compensate for not using the RPOs as much?
Yeah, I love RPOs. I think they're a great tool, and we'll continue to utilize them, the best we can. And so, I think it's all part of a great opportunity right here to launch into this December football. I think we got a great chance to kind of, just peek at where we're at and reset this thing and go.
Kellen, when you faced Washington last year, you did not have Tyron, or is that for most of it, or Lyle? Can you even take anything for what happened on the offensive line versus D-line, knowing that the personnel is so different?
Last year's games, I think there's a lot of personnel that's changed on both sides of it, obviously. And so, it's at the end of the day, it's a similar scheme. And so certainly something you want to watch and be aware of, what things they had success on and whatnot. But I think a lot has changed over, the last about 12 months since we last played them. And so we'll look at it, we'll study it. But, I think the most important film is what's going on with them right now. I mean, they're playing really, really well right now. They've won 4 straight. And so you got to study that stuff first and foremost.
When it comes to RPOs, how much are you have a quarterback, obviously, who's coming off a major leg injury, and he had another leg issue in the middle of the year. when you look at RPOs, how much do you factor in? You know, my quarterback has had some leg issues in the past.
I think that's fair to look at, and I think again it's something that we continue to find ways to utilize and use space. I think space is our friend, obviously, with our perimeter, and getting those guys back, I think is a great opportunity for us. And I think there's a lot of different ways we can attack defenses, and we'll continue to look into those.
I was hoping to kind of pick your brain on a general football concept, but when we talk about movement from the defensive line and how that can be used as a tool to stymie an opposing run game, can you maybe just break down what that looks like and what the challenges are to that concept as an offense?
Yeah, I think it's a really challenging thing. New Orleans, they've been one of the top run defenses for forever. It seems like every year we've played them, they're very good against the run. I think they do a tremendous job with the movement. And when you're really good at it, again, it's the picture changes right at the snap of the football. They exchange gaps and they do a tremendous job with it. And they've been doing it for a long time in New Orleans. They've done a really, really good job. Ton of respect for how they play defense, because they do it in a really special way. They've stopped the run for a number of years, and sometimes they do it in too high defense, which isn't the most traditional run stopping defense, but they do a great job with it, and they've had a ton of success.
John, how would you evaluate how Dak has played since he's come back from the calf injury compared to where he was before the calf injury?
Yeah, he's done a nice job. He's continued to play good football. Obviously, November wasn't anyone's best football in the world. I got to do a better job with these weeks, and so I feel like we're right where we want to be as far as having a great opportunity ahead of ourselves. I think Dak's done a nice job. Again, you got to be good on first and second down. That's what the NFL is about. Handle first and second down, do a really good job, be efficient there, put yourself in third down and manageables, and if you follow that formula, you got a great opportunity.
Dak said after the game that he felt like he wasn't patient enough and was trying to press them. Other than being better on first and second down, so you don't get to that on third down, what are some of the ways that y'all can fix that?
Can you say that again? Sorry, I lost a little bit of that.
Dak said that he felt like he was greedy and pressing too much in the game on Thursday night. Other than just setting up more favorable third down situations, how can you continue to coach that decision making?
Yeah, I think it's just Dak and us. We're just constant communication, talking through these things. I think we want to be aggressive. We want to be able to call vertical shot opportunities, throws downfield, and when they're not there, be able to find the completions underneath. And I think it's a balancing act. You can't be so conservative that you're just taking 5-yard completions, and when they aren't successful, you're putting yourself in challenging situations. You got to be able to stretch teams vertically, stretch them across the field, and so we got to continue to do that. We got to utilize some vertical game there, and at the end of the day, when they're not there, find your completions to keep this thing moving.
Dak and Coach McCarthy at different times have, when discussing Dak's performance in certain pockets, will say the importance of kind of slowing down Dak, or maybe mentally moving through things too quickly. How do you slow down? How often do you think that happens, and how do you slow down a quarterback as a coach?
I would say, I think when you're at that point where you see things, and I think Dak's starting to see things so quickly that sometimes you get past someone rather quickly, and you kind of get to the answers of the test a little too fast, and that's all part of it. I think Dak's done a tremendous job with it, and we'll continue to fight through a couple of these little things. Again, I feel like we're right where we need to be, and we'll continue to be aggressive on offense to find ways to attack teams vertically, and Dak's going to do a great job.
We got time for one more.
Where have you seen Dalton Schultz improve the most from last season to this year, and also throughout the course of this season?
I think he's done a tremendous job, obviously, battling and fighting in the run game. Those are always tough matchups for tight ends. Sometimes you're dealing with defensive ends who are very prominent players in this league. And then the passing game, I think he's done a really nice job of just being consistent and reliable, and I think we got to continue to embrace that aspect of it, just being detailed in our work. He shows up a lot of times in those 2-minute drives and those situations, big situations in games where he's just ready, he's available. We end up getting completions to him and moving the ball downfield, and I think he's done a great job.
Thanks for your time today, Kellen.
Okay, thanks, guys.